in the edtech and higher education sector, currently serving as a senior technical mentor at upGrad Education Pvt Ltd. With over 10 years of experience in academia and industry, he has developed extensive expertise in Java, Spring Boot, and database management. His ability to seamlessly integrate technical knowledge with business operations makes him a distinguished mentor and industry expert. Beyond academia, Mr. Aman has successfully led well development projects for international clients from UK, USA, Canada, and Portugal. His passion for technology and innovation continues to drive impactful contributions in the field of software development and education. We are delighted to have him with us today and look forward to his valuable insights. Let's extend a warm welcome to Mr. Aman Kumar. Sir, we are honored to have you here today and we eagerly look forward to learning from your wealth of knowledge and experience. Over to you.
A very good evening, everyone. Am I audible? Yes.
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir. Thanks for giving me an opportunity to discuss about this darknet and deep web. And moreover, the most importantly, in this 2 hour of session, the first hour, let we try to understand what exact this darknet and deep web is. And also we will be understanding like the few of the statement that are actually given by the expert cybersecurity expert that will be a kind of key indication that we just need to have a more focus it on security perspective. And the next session that will be the hand-on practical. In that, what I have planned accordingly, like the Kali Linux that we everyone knows, like having a lot of penetration testing tool, many tool like already pre-built it is going to be providing. We'll try to understand with different command that are essential for understanding of not only the UI based, also for the command line based. About me, the ma'am has already shared you my detail. I am the senior technical mentor and having a right now having a 11 plus year of experience in this academia along with industry and worked on many projects that are related to a full stack that are also related to the security perspective. And my presentation outline that will be like first of all like will be trying to understand.
Sir,
Yes,
make this a full presentation mode.
definitely I'm just going to do. Yeah, right now it is fully visible na.
No, sir.
Just a second, going to share my entire screen. Yeah, right now will be visible.
Yes, sir.
Yes. First of all, like
Sir, make this pop-up hide
yes,
meet Google.
definitely. I'm just going to hide this one. Yes, the first of all, let we try to understand like the cyber attack. Even no one will be having an idea like Fazal 1337 attack. That was a kind of a cold war between India and Pakistan. And what exact a cybersecurity expert told on that time, we'll be trying to understand expert talk. And thereafter, we will be having a one framework that is known as cyber kill chain. If we have a understanding of this tool, like we already have an idea, like we have a tool like net we have a different kind of a tool just for security, just for checking the vulnerability, for penetration testing, which mean If we have an understanding of that, I will be covering in this cyber kill chain. Thereafter, we'll be understanding the web and the difference of dark web. Because many of the person actually thinking about like deep web is a part of internet but not indexed, which mean when we are going to search it on internet, will be not getting any of the response. And somehow the dark web actually, dark web will be the small section in term of like when we, that means for using this we need a special software, let tor browser. There next, I will be discussing tools and precaution. Like everyone knows the cryptocurrency, Bitcoin, what kind of ethical consideration we need to follow, and how we can like we everything right now on a on a digitalization. That's why we just need to, we have to be a stay safe online. Stay safe online mean like trends and prediction. I will be covering all the things in my 1 hour session, and thereafter will be a hand-on session on that. After this, I'm just starting with my just by playing a one video that was. Activate intelligent system. Password required. Access granted. All right, we're in business. Good evening, Vince. How are you? Access granted. Yes. Got it. It was a day, 26 September 2015. On that day, the government of Kerala in New Delhi was hacked. That was the attack Fazal 1337. And what exactly the team that has did this cyber attack? They just said this thing: we are a team, Park cyber attackers. Security is just an illusion. Even hackers, like even I was a witness as well, because my server was also hacked on that day on 26 September 2015. The hacker not only just hacked the website of Indian, after hacking all the website of India, they just publish it on directly on a Facebook page and mention the URL as well. Like as we can understood now, like government of Kerala, New Delhi, the hacked. That was on that day, that was a surgical strike. Even very less person already having this idea, but I have faced this information, I have faced this issue on that day. I just have realized what exactly we are doing right now, we are lacking it from the security perspective. Even we just need to understood this thing, whatever we are doing, like just searching it on internet, just finding it on the different digital mode, like the social media we are having. The Pakistani hackers attack over 7,000 of Indian websites on that day. But not only this, like what exactly the flag was floated on the sides, and everyone was just thinking of like what exactly happened. And that was, and the tag what exactly they have given is hacked by Fazal 1337. Okay, the Pakistan just hacked 7,000 websites on that day. But at the last, which means this was just a start only on that day. What exactly the India has did? Like, if let us suppose if any of the other country going to harm Indian website, which mean the Indian hacking group even returned a favor. Definitely, it will be a favor. What exactly we can say is, which mean the Indian hacking group actually returned like within a few hours. That was the group on that day, the Malu Cyber Soldier. The group claimed this responsibility that they just have hacked two official website in my last slide, as we can say. See, government of Kerala, New Delhi. But right, but what exactly in a return of Indian this Malu cyber soldier, they just announced this the 100 official Pakistani website were hacked on a same day just after a few hours. Right now think about this, when we just trust it on our websites, we just put our information on a website. Even we can might be you have heard this news on a media as well, like Gmail account has been hacked, which mean whatever the information that we are providing to the organization, providing to the websites, which mean this is the primary focus. Well, that means we just need to be more focused it on the cybersecurity perspective. Like what exactly the expert has told on that day. The Yosef said, cracking of Kerala government website, exposing the vulnerability of our official websites. What exactly he said, like he claimed that what exactly they are thinking like their servers are totally safe and no incident can be happened, no incident can be happened. But on that day, 26th of September 2015, they said this thing like what exactly is going on right now. Not have lot of people are not much having a much awareness, and even like this vulnerability, like what exactly they are saying they are using a lot of software, https, but no one is not much care about for security perspective. As you can read this was actually a statement that was given by the Yosef, and which mean what exactly he has proposed, which means cyber security mechanism. With cyber security mechanism and the framework is needed if we want to survive in this complete want to compete in this world. With this, like necessity is the mother of invention all the time. Similar way, like cybersecurity expert, if they are saying this thing, we should need a security mechanism. Thereafter, we, the one person that has created this cyber kill chain, I'm just going to explain it in this way so that we'll be able to understand this, because in our next session, we'll be working it on complete kill chain. Cyber kill chain is nothing, just think like that. This is the framework. If you have a better understanding of complete framework, which that means we can at least secure our system, we can at least secure ourselves, like that all come under the ethical hacking. The first one is rec- reconscience. Reconscience mean like let- uh, the first one, reconscious weaponization. The third one is delivery, exploitation, installation, command and control, action on objectives. Like if the person is having an understanding of this and moreover into, like, we always, I think all have heard this word like Kali Linux providing you a mini pre-installed software, that all come under this category only, the seven category. Like, might be you have heard about penetration testing, heard about the word like reverse engineering of like malware, installing malware and all. Like, we actually have a one tool, the name of the tool is Zara, Yara. Even this is, we have the Python library as well. Like, it, I'm just going to show you on internet. Yeah, this one, Zara rule GitHub. This is a master Zara file. This is actually the pattern actually. Like when we say this is a virus category, like vital information refers resources under Cs. Like how actually we say this thing, okay, this is a virus of this category, all is actually done with the help of Jara rule. Even we just can see it, any of the repository like this Jara rule we have, like malware, mobile malware, packers. It means just think like that. What exactly this Zara is? This is a rule book. Rule book mean having a one hashing and MD5 algorithms in this. Hashing and MD5, actually these are the encryption algorithm with having a lot of rule. Let us suppose, let we take an example for better understanding of this. Let us suppose we have 20 rule. Let us suppose if my file contained 17 rule, which mean it will be categorized into a worm. If having a complete fulfilling all the rule, which mean the antivirus, actually we, what exactly we say is like, let us suppose we can say is quick hail. Even you will be getting this if you don't have much understanding. Right now we have a Zara Python library as well. Might we like, because the Zara tool for this you should have an environment of Linux library. You should have, sorry, Linux operating system. With that you can run this Zara. And if you, this is just for a security purpose only. Even we have, if you do not want to download it, if you just want to have compiling, saving and loading of rule, then all the things are already available in a Python library we have is right now. This is the library that you can install it just for, like, for security sake, just for like, see, as you can see right now, here we have like compile. Even 4 to 6 session, sir has already shown few of the things like the epochs and all, like the different model that we can see. In this, will be having a rule, tag, and string. If it match there accordingly, it will be saying this thing. Okay, this file contains a virus. If it is not showing, which mean like the regular expression, by using a regular expression can secure ourselves. If we have an understanding of Zara rule, all the things we will be covering in the next days. Let me first understand this cyber kill chain. Hope you are able to understand still till now. I'm just going to recall it so that we'll be focusing it on more into the framework. Like fun attack on 26th of 2015, and India reaction was to like it was a kind of a surgical war, surgical strike, the cyber war actually. And India has India hacked on that day 100 official sites. Experts was claiming we just need to more focus it on a cyber security mechanism. If they are claiming on this, we should have to focus it on a cybersecurity mechanism, which mean now we have a one proposed framework, that is the cyber kill chain. Let we more into depth of this. The Lockheed Martin, the developer of this cyber kill chain, actually what exactly he has done is outline the stages of attack and understood it what exact the things are required for understanding and defending against such attack. It can be a DOS injection, it can be of any of the attack. Like very important one is like when we say organization always, like, let us suppose if someone is going to send an email, which mean they cannot identify all the things, they cannot judge all the things by manually, they need complete security mechanism for understanding all the things, for mitigating the threats. That means this skill chain will be the solution for organization for understanding and disrupting these stages, can help the organization to enhance their cybersecurity posture. The first one was reconnaissance. Let we try to understand in a better way so that we'll have a more understanding. Like the two case study that sir has already shown to you in a 4 to 6 session. One case study was for network analysis, like cybersecurity on a network, which mean like we do have right now the machine learning, we do have a right now the UI. Like with that UI we can scan the network, like for an example the nmap that is already available in this, in this Kali Linux. And most importantly, like we have like the first one is reconscience. And if we go back to this harvesting email address conference information etc, like what exactly it is covering, like from database to social media platform, like all network scanner, whatever the like recon ng we have, everything that will be for, which mean identification, which mean like first one is understand it, after understanding then defend against such attack. Next one was weaponization. Like we weaponization mean like all haven't, let we just understand as like coupling exploit with backdoor into the deliverable payload. Yeah, we should presentation. As the request, I just have shown it in a presentation mode right now. Can anyone confirm, is it visible right now?
Yes, sir, visible, sir.
Okay, thank you, sir. Next one was the weaponization. Weaponization mean like the tool that come under this, like customer malware creation tool, like the wheel framework, document exploit builder, like such as like Microsoft exploit builder, that exploit kit, which mean having a backlog, backhole and angular, that all come under this weaponization. The next one was we have the delivery tool. Delivery tool, like the like phishing we already understood this. Like phishing mean like someone is just going to send an email after, let us suppose, if having any of the attachment, if someone is going to open it, after opening of this, which mean will get an access of the system, that all come under the delivery. And for this, in this Kali Linux, we have a different kind of a tool. The first tool is phishing kit, email spoofing tool, file hosting services, malicious macros. Because like we have a Google Drive or a Dropbox. Take an example, if someone is just going to work it on like finding just one, just working it on a machine learning, just to check it out whether, like to check it out whether this file contain a virus or not. If it, this process, if he is doing in a local machine, within a 5 day, that machine by default will be that machine will by default be window will be by default destroyed. The reason behind will be because of virus. Even many of already have heard about this word like ransomware virus. What exactly it was? It was just taking a control of your system. After this, they were demanding it for the cryptocurrency, the Bitcoin and all. And if we want to like for like, which mean that all come under the delivery. And so delivery for this cyber kill chain has created a different tool for this category. Next was for exploitation. Exploitation mean that like we have a open VS, the custom exploit script targeting the for a specific voluntary. And the last one was installation. Like installation means like Trojan, like so like the having a backdoor implants, and even the PowerShell scripting of the malicious DLL files. Like DLL files are dynamic link libraries, and that also if it got infected, and how actually we are going to understand how going we are going to get into recovery mode. That all come under this framework, which mean the 7 steps we have. These 7 steps are essential for 7 steps are essential for understanding and defending against such attack. Now, the question is, what is deep web? If if we in a general talk, if we say the deep web, let we try to understand. Deep web contain a content not indexed by a search engine. It include academic databases, private websites. Many of our thinking is like, is it legal or illegal? Actually, it is a completely legal. That include things like medical records. That include things like academic databases. That include things like the government, like not we can say a government record. That include like the cloud storage content. And if we are thinking of this, the example of this will be like, let us suppose the Netflix. Right now we have a OTT platform. If the libraries are not publicly available, that libraries will be available on a deep web. And private company, online banking, we have internet, intranet, and extranet. We have a 3 category of internet. What exactly we are using right now, this is an internet is a network of network. But the banking sector actually not using internet, they always use a intranet. They always preferring a internet. Take an example, if we have a one bank PNB, another bank SBI, they want to communicate, they will be communicating with, but within a very restricted manner. What exact the net they will be using, that will be known as extranet. And mostly like now, if it is not indexed on the internet, and how we can access this kind of a website, how we can access that kind of sites. Like We do not need to install any Tor browser. We do not need to install any other browser. With the normal browser, we can access our sites. Why? But the reason is it require login credential. Like if it is not indexed in this search engine, which actually we have a Google Webmaster. Google Webmaster is actually like when we just search by a keyword, that keyword will be providing you a complete crawler, will be showing a list of related sites, and depended it on the algorithmic techniques used by the page rank algorithm, actually used by the Google for giving a list on the search engine like rank 1, 2, 3, 4. And which mean this that kind of a website will be not in an index, that means will be not in a Google webmastery. If we want to access it, can access it, but the for this we should have a login credential for this. Let what exactly we have understood till now, like was like see the massive content like the academic journal. If we are talking about having a lot of journal that are actually available it on this deep web, and already said one thing, like these are the skewed, these are unindexed, like no one can directly find it on internet. If we want to find it on internet, just need to have much just need to have a credential, just need to have a username and a password. And now the question is on our mind is what is dark web? Like dark web, if we are saying this dark web is a small section of the deep web, which mean let us suppose if we say a complete square is a deep web, some of the part is are known as dark web. Like, but dark web is not legal. Dark web, why it is not legal, the reason behind is like the anonymous form. ha, all you have heard a word anonymous form, the like take an example, the black market, hacking forum, the hidden services, that all are come under the dark web, that are not coming under this deep web. Just need to understand this thing like similarity and the difference is this difference is this: deep web legal, dark web totally illegal. Content, if we are saying like a academic journal, the cloud storage, the medical record, that is deep web. But if we are going to talk about the dark web, we have an anonymous form, we have a black market, we have a hack, like the hacking forum we have, like and even like take an example, if we want to access the dark web, the major difference in this dark web, if we want to access dark web, we cannot access it by using a normal browser. If we want to access it, we should have to install another browser, which means another tool that will be needed. That is the Tor browser. That is needed for checking, seeing, and even what that like what that kind of activities na, even let us suppose if we are having an experience of that, like that activities are totally illegal, and not much into the understanding of this thing, why I am explaining this all the things to you, so that we'll be able to understand what exactly the security mechanism, what exactly insecure mechanism, which mean deep web secure mechanism, but sorry, deep web is legal mechanism, don't go into the illegal mechanism. Why? Because we have a lot of data nowadays, everyone will be just want to explore as much as the person want to explore. Like the tor eo is actually a shape is onion shape. Onion, why this onion shape is like on, like when we have like normally our government website or private website, their domain extension will be .com, .org, .gov. But when we just talk about this the dark web, that is somehow a part of deep web. Many time you will be experience this thing like dot onion. That's why I'm just, for your awareness, I'm just going to tell you about this like similarity and the key difference. Now, the tool and precaution. See, in my first line, what exactly like understanding of risk? Like if you don't have an idea what exact the risk it is, which mean you cannot avoid it or prevent it. So very importantly, like the dark web I am talking about right now. Dark web mean like can have any malware. Let us suppose if no one is going to mask your IP address, by default it will be anonymity, and this like which mean the if tool and precaution it will be as in simple wording. Let us suppose if you first one, let us suppose if you have much understanding of the things. Let us suppose if you are using a tor browser, that means the multiple relay it will be routed by the connection through the multiple relay. And enable VPN mean virtual private network, like it will mask your IP address. Why it will mask your IP address? For added anonymity. And stay alert. Stay alert mean like suspicious link, like when we just search it on the internet, when we search it on, when we just browse the things, we'll be getting lot of suggestions, we'll be getting lot of recommendation. I'm just talking about like the, let we take an example of honeypot is just a kind of a trap. Why this trap is actually, I'm just going to show you so that we'll be able to understand in a more better way. As right now, as you can see, the honeypot, I'm just, let me see it with this so that we'll be able to understand this with the word who all will be able to understand. Honey means like the trap, the pot mean place. See, as you can see right now, the honeypot. See, right now, see, let us suppose we have internet right now. In everyone is right now using this internet in a daily routine, and we have a lot of server, we have a firewall installed, like it can be a cyber roam, it can be a fortinet, that all depended it on the organization perspective. And why this honeypot is, honeypot are necessity, so that take an example if cyber, take an example if honeypot are actually is a decoy system, which mean net it will be set up it on a network. After setting it on a network, this is to attract a cyber attacker. Take an example, this is my production network for the internet. Like every malicious activity, take an example, if it is going to be happen in my organization, that will be happened in my organization by a network. This is the obvious thing, like it will be the network layer or application layer, but will be happened in a network. So that we have different types of, actually we have a two type of honeypots. One is production honeypots and second one is research honeypots. Why these honeypots are actually, these honeypots are actually to attack the cyber attacker, so that when the cyber attacker is going to attack it on my local network, when the cyber attacker is going to be attack it on my organizational network, will be able to point it out and will be able to at least will be able to, you can say, understand the behavior of a new threat, will be able to at least protect my organization. And we have a two type of honeypots actually, research honeypot and production honeypot. Research honeypots are used to study attacker behavior and new threats, and whereas the production honeypots, these are deployed with the real-time network to detect and prevent attack. Which mean, take an example, if my organization is already been built, what exactly I will be placing production honeypots, so that that will be my real network. And might we you have heard of this news, like this university network has been hacked, like this organization information right now, they are just right now having in a situation of this having a situation of facing this attack. Let us suppose if they are using this honey, yes, but actually, see, if we are saying this thing security mechanism and all, like the honey pots, actually this is the costing will be much higher. And like the person actually who is going to be administrated, the person who is going to implement it, that person will be having a much knowledge and will be having a specialized skill. Specialized skill mean whatever the skill he is containing, which mean for preventing of attacker to detect a attacker will take a lot of, will be having a costly. And this production system, whatever the gaining exists, the like cyber attacker are right now getting it, which mean that we can reduce it, or you can say avoid it by applying a honeypot. Just a second, I'm just going to switch my screen to now. I hope you all are understood this thing, like tools and precaution. The precaution is like a honeypot. Like it is quite expensive, but like take an example, how actually honeypots work, like having a security team for setting up, but that will be like if hacker attempt to exploit the vulnerability system, which mean honeypot will be having a record, and there accordingly will be able to at least able to get the IP address of the cyber attacker, will be able to at least get the, like will be able to at least defend it. Now the darknet market already said the similarity and the difference. Just conclude it in a very simple way so that we'll be having proper understanding. The first one is deep. We were saying like deep web is legal, but right now we are talking about darknet market, like trading of drugs, weapon, malwares, and all kind of that kind of activities, such as already since few of the activities, like we the black market, the hacking for, and different hidden services, all are illegal. And these like what exact the mechanism actually they are using? They use encryption for anonymity, and further these marketplaces are actually like, let us suppose if they got an information like someone is going to see my illegal activity, definitely they will be harm you, they will be like facing ransomware viruses, facing a malicious viruses, all can be happened with anyone. So the protection, so the understanding of risk is most important, right? And the global reach, the global reach is, see, the person who is actually going to buy, the person who is actually going to sell, no one is already having an information like the stolen data, capturing data, picking a data, and all the things. That information is right now will not be available. So it not we with the help of normal browser we cannot access it. With the help of like already said a Tor browser can see that kind of activity, but will be completely illegal activities. So it's cryptocurrency. Here, why this understanding of cryptocurrency is needed right now? Why this talk is needed right now? Like already understood few of the things in this. Just going to recap it so that we'll be able to recall all the things. The the day on 26th September 2015 when the surgical strike was happened, not only from the Pakistan side, but India has already reacted on that. What was the group name? The Malu Cyber Soldier. Thereafter, experts said this thing, we just need to much focus it on cyber security mechanism, should have to adopt a better mechanism right now. And thereafter, necessity, that means shown a one more step for security mechanism, the seven steps, and which was actually the installation, command to control, action on objective, everything it is right now covering. Like not only the tool, like having a weaponization, delivery, exploitation, all these steps, the seven steps actually, this is known as cyber kill chain. After this, we have understood why this concept was introduced. This concept was introduced for this actually the seven stages that was introduced. It is just a framework for understanding and defending against such attack, because understanding is more important. If any of the risk is there, which mean not if we want to reduce it, or if we want to mutually if you want not mutually, if we want to handle it, defend it in a better way, should have understanding of this. The seven steps recons, which mean each and every chain steps having a different tool that already available it in a Kali Linux, the most of the tool. Because when we talk about the Kali Linux, thereafter we have understood what exactly the deep web is, and understood like having a lot of content, like academic content, having a, and thereafter we take an example with the normal browser. If we want to access it, deep web actually want to access it, we can access it by having a login credential only, which mean user and password, username and password, totally unindexed. Thereafter we have understood like what kind of a tool we are having for routing this connection, like understood the honeypot, like honeypot, why honeypot was important and what exact the use of honeypot is, and thereafter understood why the exact the darknet market it is, and is it what kind of illegal goods actually they are trading. The illegal goods were drugs, weapon, and the malware actually. Thereafter, let we try to understand is the cryptocurrency. Hope you already have heard this word Bitcoin. Bitcoins, like even in the US, US right now just introduced one of the Bitcoin. I'm not, and even the Doji coin as well. Like actually, what exact the mechanism they are using? They use blockchain technology. Blockchain technology is nothing. Let me just understood in a simple way. Let us suppose if we have a one. lit- that is somehow it is used for anomalies detection. That is somehow it is most of the time it will be used for. Let me take an example of smart cities data. If we have a smart city data, that means like want to handle a congestion control, how we not only not only on the data the cyber attacker are right now attacking on it, they are attacking it on a traffic signal as well. How they why they are attacking it on traffic signal, because if any of the disruption will be occurred, which mean it will lead more accident. And so that if we want to secure it, cryptocurrencies are actually we have a it is a private mean like transaction are no one can see. Globally used mean it is a borderless digital currency nowadays. That means borderless mean like if we have INR rupees like US dollar, like most of the countries are actually traded by using a US dollar. And see, that's what we can say is like right now the Bitcoin currency is going to be the global as a borderless digital currency. Like the ethical consideration, what exactly the consideration we need to be take it into things like the first one is legality. Deep web, dark web, not the dark web, only the deep web. Why? It is we should have to avoid the illegal activities. Harmful content like what harmful content mean like engaging content. Already said honeypots. Why the honeypots are actually designed? Why the honeypots are actually set up just to attract the cyber attacker? That is our responsibility. We should be aware of all the things. If we have not awareness of what exactly the deep web is, what exactly the dark web is, which mean we just even we just can be in a trap of like the cyber attack. So that to reduce cyber attacks to just which mean should have an understanding of like actually should have an understanding of use cases actually, like unauthorized access attempt. If it is a kind of unauthorized access attempt, we do not need to do. Let us suppose learning about a new attack strategy, which is our responsibility. We should have at least understanding of what exact the new technology is right now in industry, what exact the new technology is right now available in a market, should have to understand it. And thereafter we should have to understand the use case, like diverting attacker from real system. Like taken an example of honeypot, like if cyber attacker they are going to harm it, we should have an ability to divert the attacker and will be able to identify the vulnerability from the network. That is a responsibility, which mean if I am just going to simplify it, a responsibility, the responsibility will be detecting unauthorized the use case if the first one. The second use case will be learning about new strategy, so that will have be having at least understanding of this. The third use case it will be like for diverting the real time attacker, so that will be able to identify at least vulnerability in a network. Now, staying safe online, simply just have to be three things that we just need to be keynote on this, like strong password. Like all the time when we just set a password, right now many organization already giving an information like giving an war giving a like password should be of 8 digit at least, the password should be of 10 digit at least, which mean your password should be unique and complex, because we do have a different hashing algorithm, we have a different hashing techniques that cyber attacker can even apply, like injection and all, so that should have to set at least a unique and complex password. And the software and the new version are actually get into the place into the industry. Why? The reason is, if they face any of the vulnerability issue, they will be updating it in a newer version. So this is a responsibility to keep our software up to date. And lastly, we
Yes.
which mean
Hi, good evening, sir.
very good evening.
Yes, sir. Sorry to interrupt in between, sir. So one thing is coming into my mind actually. Like, say, we generally send emails. So, sir,
Yes,
is
sir.
it possible? Is it possible for some unknown person, like I'm sending a mail to some third person? So, is it possible by using my email address, someone can extract what is my password? Is it like in the cyber uh, security or cyber forensic? Is it possible for some
Sir,
not?
I'm just going to show you a one thing. Like, just let us suppose on a Google, if we are going to type Gmail account hacked. Sir, as you can see right now, Gmail security warning for 2.5 billion users. That means, like, which means this is the news of 1 Feb 2025.
Yes,
See, whatever the information they are going to store it, they obviously they are using a salt mechanism. Obviously, they are using a security mechanism.
yes,
But
sir.
the actually I just have mentioned this thing, the honeypot and all. Like it
Yes,
right now,
yes,
it is costly for if I want to implement in my organization, it will be very hard for me. But for the Google, it is very easier to implement that kind of honeypots. But sir, in this upcoming generation, we have right now the cybersecurity is right now like the machine learning implementation and all. Why this kind of a information in implementation are right now introduced? Because it is very hard for manually to secure your account, even the Google authority as well. So that,
yes,
take an example, if someone is going to hack the database where we they have stored the Gmail IDs and password, which means that will get a grant of that will be having authorization, that will be having a complete access of all the things.
yes,
With that, they can directly send an email and all. Might we have seen this thing on Facebook, like publishing information without getting an access? How they are actually doing is they are just attacking it on the server, but on the organization end,
yes, yes, yes.
and
So,
that's
yes, sir. So, one more thing, sir. So, how now and then we come to know that some government websites are got hacked. So, how these sites get hacked actually, sir? What
yes,
things
sir.
first
So
attackers
I'm
try
just
to
going to
get?
show you this thing. Like actually, I have witnessed the reason is on that time. Uh, Faisal 1337. Sir, what exactly I have studied it from internet on that time, 2015. Sir, that is the you can say what exactly the mechanism they do use on that time. Like, see, when we just, I'm not going to show any of the hosting provider organization, but
Yes,
we have a many hosting provider organization. Their security mechanisms are not up to the mark.
yes,
And if they are not even what exactly we are preferring right now, take an example, like if we want to buy a shareable hosting, we just can get it of 1000 rupees only. That means like hosting mean like we have a to actually we are if we are going to communicate with the this hosting mean this is a server cost. Server cost mean like having a machine.
Yes, sir.
And
Yes.
if they are not just getting a profit of your 1,000 rupees only, which mean they are just going to sell it to the 1 million person, and
Yes.
1 million person will not having a much knowledge of this. Everyone will be using a filezilla or a ftp WinSCP for storing a data. Many I
Yes.
have seen many of the person those are actually just buying a hosting just for storing a data only.
Yes, sir. Yes.
Even that are not much index, which means and in on that day when my 7 website were hacked on that day in this 26th of September, what exactly I have observed on that day, I just have bought a shared hosting on that day. And actually why actually I was on a learning stage, we can consider I don't have a much knowledge in 2015.
Yes, sir.
And thereafter I got to know, okay yaar, I just not need to be blindly trust on the hosting provider. I just have to create my security, like I just need to create my encryptor as well. I just need to add my salt mechanism so that if someone is going to attack it on my website, will be having at least IP, will be having at least idea, okay, this someone is going to access my like that will loophole. Actually what exactly we the term we use is loophole mean, which means
Yes,
sometime sometime the website already have given an access to get entry into the sites. Why the get entry into the sites? So that will be at least get an information, will be at least able to protect it, protect it from the ethical hacker,
Actually, sir,
protect.
yes, sir. Actually, sir, government websites are easily accessible to the citizen, no, sir. So they are easily accessible to hackers, no, sir.
Yes, sir. But actually, if the Kerala official website, Kerala is a well-educated and even more focusing it on the security mechanism, na?
Yes, sir.
And and moreover, if we are like actually, sir, we have like even many of the less person having an idea like this kind of a war actually, not
Yes, sir.
only this 2015, even in 2022 or a 23, even on that day same thing was happened on that day as well. I don't know the exact date
Yes,
why
sir.
this kind of things are right now going to be happen. If I'm talking about this Faisal 13, they were the 28 person. They were the 28%. And even the Russia organization, Russia, na? Russia, even they also test the vulnerability of our Indian sites as well. But they actually do not harm our website. The Pakistan, if they are going to like, when like, if I'm just going to show this thing to you, like the images, na? This was the image on that day on my 7 websites. This was
Yes,
this was shown on my website on that day. Even warning from actually see as you can see we are Team Park Cyber Attacker.
cyber attackers. Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
They were claiming this thing on that day. But yes, obviously India has already reacted on that day, and that is just a cyber surgical war. More into this. Hello.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. So,
So
sir, lastly, I want to know one thing, sir. How Google Drive is, how safe is Google Drive when we are trying to upload or save our educational documents like mark sheet,
Excuse me, sir.
certificate?
Aman, sir, give 10 minutes at the last. Continue your session, sir, right now.
Okay, sir. So this is my
We
last
have to
question.
complete the session. Okay.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. So, sir, just want to know how Google Drive is safe, like when we are trying to save our certificates and document mark sheets in Google Drive. Just is
sir,
there some
actually, see, sir, right now the mechanism actually the Google is right now the following. Like, see, whatever the services they are providing, like, but everything, like what exactly we are saying right now, still having a security mechanism having a flaws in this
Yes.
till today. Like if we are claiming this thing, everything is right now secure, nothing is secure, because if we have a one door that we already have a closed, which mean having a back door as well, backdoor entry
Yes.
as well.
Yes. Yes, sir. Yes.
Similarly, like let us suppose, for if I am talking about the Linux environment, na, Linux mean one way is just to start your operating system in a simple way, but another
Yes.
way is we have a admin right as well. That admin right, if someone is getting an access of this, which mean can steal any kind of information, but Google is itself a multinational organization, more focusing it on that kind of a things.
Yes.
But we cannot say this is completely a secure. What exactly we can trust it on as the organization brand.
Yes. Thank you, sir. Thank you so much for your support and guidance. Thank
Welcome,
you.
welcome, sir. And the next one is like the trend and the prediction. 50 percentage 50 percentage is right now the regulation, and 25 percentage is actually right now the technology. That means what exactly the adaptation of this 25%, and how actually how the user seeking this new method to maintain a privacy. And lastly, I'm just going to conclude it, so that we'll be having a hand-on session on this. Like the simple slogan, stay vigilant and stay secure. That means if you have a understanding of risk, then you can be a more secure on this. And anyone, any query related to this theoretical concept can ask. Otherwise, we'll directly move to the next session, hand-on session on Kali Linux, so that we'll be having an understanding of commands.
Yes, sir. You can ask now if any question left.
Now I'm just going to share my entire screen. Before starting my hand-on session, I'm just going to in give you a small introduction what exactly we'll be doing today. And this is the document file that I already have shared it on Canvas with sir. Hope you all have downloaded it. And for this we'll be using a virtual box and the Kali Linux for this. Actually, the Linux is Linus Torvald. Linux is just a 300 line of code that was developed by Linus Torvald. And what exactly the Linus Torvald told on that, or after implementation of this, like any organization, any person, if we want to use my open source, which mean the last keyword will be Linux. Like Black Hat is an organization, Linux is a 300 line of code. Similar way, Kali is an organization. Kali is a foundation, like the community, the person actually. The Linux is a 300 line of code. I have already shared you this document file. The first one is the virtual box that you can download it with by clicking it on this link. And it is this is operating system specific. Like if you have a window, Mac or Linux, with according to this you can install, because This is needed for actually understanding what exactly I just have explained to you, the framework, cyber kill chain. Want to understand in a proper, better way, want to understand understanding and defensive mode, na? Which mean should have to understand each and every tool, should have to understand what kind of techniques, what kind of UI, because right now we are not just focusing it on just writing a command, but obviously should have an understanding of command, because command lines are right command command lines are actually completely like 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 if we want to change directory, like cd command will be doing all the command. And the second step is need to install a kali linux. In this Kali Linux, I already have shown you this in this image. Actually, we have a two image that will be recommended when we just click it on this, the Kali platform actually. In this, we'll be having a two. One is installer image, second one is virtual image, virtual machine. Installer image, when we click it on this installer image, we'll be having a three. Let I'm just going to show you so that will be understood. See, first of all, in this, when we just open this installer image, in this having a actually four images. One is installer, like complete offline installation with customization. One is everything, like image or air gapped, everything, like whatever the tool that we needed is, everything will be available. And this is net installer, which mean the packages are downloaded during the installation, like package will be downloaded and thereafter it will be installed. And this is untested image on a weekly basis, just for you can say beta version. Will not using this weekly net installer or everything, I just have download this installer. I'm just going to show you what exact the size of this is. The size of this is of 4 GB. As you can see right now, the 4.07 GB. I just, if you want to download it, can download it. After downloading of this, first step is the very first step is just need to open a virtual box. Just I am just going for your understanding, so that we'll be having an understanding during this hand-on session what exactly we'll be doing in this hand-on session, and we'll be continuing it by in the next days as well, so that like we'll be understand the all different tool that are already available in this, because this is a preloaded version. Actually, Kali Linux is an actually Debian based Linux distribution that is primarily designed for penetration testing, ethical hacking, and cybersecurity research. Like preloaded security tool we will be having, like which mean these assessments are actually already had heard about digital forensic, reverse engineering, and like we have a black hat Linux, we have a Mint, we have another organization, those are proposing a different kind of a Linux. Why this Kali Linux only? The reason behind is this is actually Kali Linux was developed and maintained by Offensive Security. This is a cybersecurity training company. In it, they actually released it as a successor of Backtrack Linux, and at least having a 500 pre-installed security tool. which mean let us suppose Nmap Wireshark. If you want to use this Nmap or Wireshark in a Windows machine, Windows operating system, need to install it. Which mean let us suppose if the list is of 500 security tool that already we have I have shown to you the cybersecurity kill chain. Kill chain mean like the kill chain is actually the framework having a 7 stages in that. Each stage need tool. If we are going to install it manually, will be taking a lot of time. So that everything like whatever it is needed or installed it, provided it in a just a single package. And mostly like most of this like having a live boot capability that allowing use without installation as well. And thereafter what exactly will be discuss will be trying to understand all kind of a command, so that will be having understanding of like someone if giving you someone want to understand what exactly the behavior of my system, what exactly will be the defensive mechanism, should have a proper understanding. I will be covering the basic Linux command, user management command, file permission command, networking command, process management, package management, disk and storage command, ethical hacking commands, and lastly, second last will be the log analysis, and thereafter will be kind of covering the system monitoring command. I expect this thing like you already have installed it, but for your understanding, the things that are actually very important to understand will be explaining this just for your understanding. Like virtual box it is. What exactly this virtual? Actually, we have a VMware and virtual box. When we just click it, when we just download it, after downloading and install it, then after we just need to click it on this, click it on new option. I'm not actually going to install it, just going to give you an overview so that if you have not installed, will be able to install. Very first one is just need to mention a installation name like 20, let us suppose 25. After this, not need to select this ISO image. Why? Because if we are going to select this ISO image, by default it will be recall it, because Kali Linux is already mentioned in this. This is the Debian based Linux distribution. If it is a Linux distribution, which means the type it will be Linux. Here we will be selecting Debian, which mean having the first step will be installation of VirtualBox. First step after downloading VirtualBox and Kali Linux from the resource, the official sites that already shared it in this document file. This file contains the official links of downloading the VirtualBox, as well as just need to download this installer version, not need to download the like the weekly this version, actually not need to download this weekly net installer or everything, just need to download this installer version. After downloading this installer version, just need to click it on finish. As you can see right now, I just have added a new machine but not having anything in this machine. When we just click it here we have an option setting. I hope all will be able to understand how we can add a machine. After adding this machine, sorry, first one is new. After new, like this kind of tab will be shown, and it will be showing this power off right now. And after this we'll be going to this settings, and this will be having a multiple tab. Just need to understand it in a proper way, because these are quite important mean like the network, which mean we have a NAT based network. That is most important to understand. I let first of all the general. Second one is system mean like when we say like right now it is going to be running in my machine, like it is going to be running in my machine, which mean it require RAM, it require the resources, it require all the resources that are needed for running, which mean first resource is base memory. First resource, it will be the memory, like whatever the memory that is available right now in my system. 8 GB of memory is available right now. 8 GB of memory, which mean at least 2 GB I just need to allocate it for installing of Kali Linux, and will be able to run it. And thereafter we should have to work it on C processor. At least two cores are needed when we want to run Kali Linux. And the cap by default it will be taken, not need to worry about the cap. Acceleration, that all depended on us. Like if we want to like para virtualization, but most importantly, when we want to install this Kali Linux, we just need to go to the task manager. Here we have an option, second option. Make sure this virtualization is enabled. If it is disabled, need to manually run this system in administrative mode. After running this system, we need to enable it, because virtualization means this is the virtual machine that I am just going to create, which mean
Excuse me, sir. I'm sorry to interrupt you in between. Can you please repeat this step? Where to go to the task manager?
just I'm just going to show you again. First of all, click it on this task manager. After clicking it on this task manager, here we have a
Sir, where the task manager is?
just first of all click it on this start menu option.
Yes.
Right click it on this, then we'll be having a, this is the window 11 right now I'm using. If
Okay.
you are not able to see it, just control shift and escape.
Okay. Right. Got
This
it.
is the shortcut actually. We have
Got
control
it.
shift
Got it.
and escape. After pressing this control shift and escape, here we have a navigation window, like having a complete navigation window. In this, the process performance app history, just need to click it on performance. This will provide you the complete detail of your system, like the CPU memory. Right now I'm using 8 GB and 2 GB already given to my Kali Linux. That's why what if I just want to create a machine, which mean 2 GB already occupied, but recommended is actually the 4 GB. That all depended it on your system configuration. If it is virtualized enabled here, that means you can, it is good to go. You can easily install it this machine in the virtual box. Otherwise, this will generate an error. For this will generate, because actually in a window 11 by default it is enabled. If it is not enabled, you need to enable it manually, like in Windows 7 case. Need to, after this, first one is RAM, minimum 2 GB. It can up to, like I already shown it in a bar, like red line or a orange, this pink line, which means this is a warning indication. Green up to is okay. After this processor, two core are at least needed. Like we have a 4 core CPU right now in my system. Two core are actually needed, and thereafter we'll be focusing it on this memory. Memory by default it will take, but if you want to increase the monitor count, scale factor, and that all you can increase. And there comes here, it is most important, like controller ID. Like, see, here just need to see, this is the, I'm just going to show you what exactly I have done in my settings in this. This is, I already have done all the things. Right now it is in a running state. I'm just going to show you so that we'll be able to do all the setting, what exactly I have done. You see, Kali Linux 2024 is my Linux name. Linux Debian to 64-bit. Why? Because this is a Debian based Linux operating system. Basic memory I just have allotted to a 2 GB. And system configuration, as you can see right now in my this in my system, like I just have increased up to this. By default it will be of 16 MB, just increase to the 20 MB. And monitor count, just not have done anything on this, like whatever the default is, just go with that. Here, as you can see right now, here I just have given a path of my ISO file. ISO file that you can download it from this resource that I have shared to you, this ISO file actually. After giving, see this ISO file, very important is this one, bridge network. Actually, like a bridge adapter is actually, like need to understand this NAT and bridge adapter, because right now my system already having an internet access. If I want to use it, this internet access it for my Kali Linux and all, let us suppose I want to, we have a sudo command. If I want to update my, if I want to update my tool, then I should need internet connection. By default this will be of net type. I'm just going to show you here right now as well setting. By default this network will be of net type, but make sure when, as you can see in my actual setting, I just have changed to a bridge connection. Bridge connection mean, see this will by default taken it as on, not need to change the name or anything. And after doing all this basic configuration, the basic step that we need to perform, which mean thereafter just need to click it on show option. When we just press it on show option, this will take depended it on the internet, depended it on your system configuration speed, but it will at least take 15 to 20 minutes. In that, will your system, your machine will be restart 2 or 3 times. And first step, that will be your first step, need to select a language. Need to select a English language. Thereafter will be for a keyboard. Need to select a keyboard, United States keyboard. After selecting the country region, I have selected India. After selecting the India country region, thereafter, actually need to understand actually my, actually we have a genome. The desktop facility, by it is providing a two multiple desktop facility. If your system configuration is too good, having will be having a check boxes. On clicking it on check boxes, one will be the normal desktop. This is the normal desktop, like this simple environment. Like, and how in when we are going to install, keep this thing in mind. Very important one is should have to understand the username and password. Like username, like when I just need to run, like let us suppose I'm just going to close it again, power off. I'm just going to show you, like when I just click it on start, as you can see, powering up. If any of the problem, it is going to be shown like your virtual box is not responding, your, it is not going to be loaded, or this, like by default it will be booted. After booting of this, it will show you, will ask you the username and password that need to, As you can see, take an example, if any of the problem occurred, which mean you have to run this virtual box run as administrator. After running this virtual box as administrator, as you can right now it is right now in a complete running state, which means sometime when we just do not press enter, by default it will show you an error after installation event. That is not actually an error, that is just if not having complete privilege. If that kind of a problem occurred, which mean what exact the solution of this, just need to click it on this virtual box and need to run as administrator, because when we just open the virtual box we'll be having a restricted privilege, and when we just run as administrator we'll be having a complete access of all, like already have installed and my already set up my username and password, that you all need to do it during your installation. After this we'll be having a login. After login, this kind of a desktop application, this like desktop view will be shown in this, like a normal view, like having a file system. As you can see, by default, it will create a few of the folder. And if we want to see, I just have used 25 GB, which means it is right now showing this as well. Like because for partitioning, it is going to be taking at least 2 GB for just for creating a table, and that's why it is showing right now 15.3 GB is right now used and 7.9 GB is right now available. And when we just click it on here you can see these are already pre-installed, like for forensic software, for reporting tool, the social engineering tool, the post. And when we just click it on all application, as you can see the Wireshark, all the multiple tool that will be understanding enough next sessions already been installed, not need too much worried about installation, not need too much about that, because by default it will provide, it is just a, you can say, pre-bundle package. Like why? Because this, where we were lacking, where we were lacking it from, like let us suppose if we want to do the voluntary analysis, just need to click it on this. As you can see now we just get to know, okay, yeah, genmap, nmap, okay, legend, these are the software. Actually the genmap actually two type of, one is rooted like for a home directory, one is normal for a desktop directory. Similar way, like wireless, all the tool will be installed. Even you can see the list of all the tools. This will be the interface. And take an example, like let us suppose I want to change the desktop wallpaper. We have a lot of, we have a pre-installed wallpaper as well. When we just click it on this, na, by default it will be changed. Like it not look much better right now. I'm just going to change it to my previous one, that is more impactful as compared to the next one. I hope right now you will be at least able to understand the Kali Linux, and thereafter will be understand is what exact the shell is. If anyone still having doubt in the installation process, or anyone having any doubt, like, because this is the journey, like understanding of risk is important. So understanding of risk mean just first of all need to install Kali Linux. That Linux is a Debian based operating system. We need to install it in VirtualBox. And very importantly, the configuration. If we have a better configuration, then we can allot a RAM up to 4, 5, 16, that up to you. Minimum 2 GB of RAM is really needed for installing this. Now let move further. Let we after installation of this, let me try to first understand the basic Linux command. The first command we have is pwd, that is used for showing the current working directory. Print the current working directory. This is here we have a shell. If I'm just clicking it on this, we have a PowerShell. After opening of this shell, if I'm just going to write pwd, as you can see, it is showing right now my current directory. It is right now showing like,
Sir, can you increase the font? It is very small, sir.
just a second, sir. So right now it is visible now.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
Okay, the first one is like when we just want to use this, the first directory we have is pwd, to print working directory. And what is the B to open this prompt PowerShell? First of all, we have this terminal like 1, 2, 3, 4. Like in this window, when we just click it on Alter plus tab, which means switching a one tab to another. Here we have very easiest way, 1, 2, 3, 4 call. And even though when we just talk about this desktop application, like the see, as you can right now see the browser, if I'm just going to click it on this browser, see, the first one, the first web page that is actually showing in this is the default web page. Like why it is showing community courses and developer about the reason behind is, see, this is the reason behind why this is actually handled by offensive security, which means the cyber security company. If it is a cyber trainings company, that means when we just open a browser, we'll be having a courses server, like when all different kind of a courses. And with this FDP, like you will be at least get to know what kind of this, like the tool we are having. As you can see right now, my internet is not, why it is not working, the reason is I just have performed the bridge connection. As you can see here, we have adapter, it is showing connector, but having issue. Why this is the issue? Bridge connection is established but not configured properly, so that when we, if we, it is of net type, which mean it will not enter work. But importantly, need to understand this configuration. This configuration is quite important to understand, like network understanding and all. After understanding the basic configuration like adapter understanding and all port understanding, then after we'll get to know. Now let see, these are just a basic command. Not only the basic command we have a cyber security command as well. I'll show you what how we can use and all. First of all, the first command is print working directory. Let us suppose I just want to see where exactly I am right now. I just need to type a first command pwd, and then I
Sorry
take an
to
example.
interrupt you in between, sir. Can you please tell me? Actually, I'm getting the same problem. My Wi-Fi is running on the window platform, but when I'm running my net on the Kali Linux, which I am using it on VirtualBox by using the same setting bridge adapter, the same thing happens. My net is not working. What I should do to let my network internet work here?
See, first of all, check it out. Need to check your go to the network setting.
Mm-hmm.
Here, check it out whether it is enabled or not.
Okay, right.
First of all, check it out. If it is enabled, just put it on this host only Ethernet enable. Thereafter, you will be able to access this in a better way.
Okay.
Like here we have a multiple option like on a network. Don't worry about this. Like after understanding of this now, in my next session will be showing all the things to you. So how you can access internet, like right now
Okay.
even the like take an example that trace route and all we have, because we have a UI tool as well, we have a command as well. Like
Okay.
because we actually, let us suppose if we want to understand the kernel behavior. The
Mm-hmm.
kernel term means like the system level na? Like want to communicate with direct this system level will have an understanding of command. And
Mm-hmm.
not only we have just have only the command, will have
Mm-hmm.
the tool as well. Don't worry about this. Let me
Okay.
just showing this command, and thereafter we'll be showing you all the things, what exact the things we can perform it for network connection, for security and all.
Right. Thank you, sir.
Welcome. And thereafter we have, thereafter we have cd command, make directory, rm. Actually take an example, if we have created a new file, want to delete it, then we have a remove directory, rm command. cp, that take an example, if we want to create a copy of file to the document folder, then just need to type the, even this slides are also provided in this canvas session. And if like mb, actually with the name a person can easily understand, these commands are not, you can say a kind of, you can say fantasy word or all. mv is for move, like touch. This name we just need to remember. Touch mean for creating a new file. Cat is for content. Let us suppose we want to display the content from whatever the new file we have created. And similar way we have a nano. Actually, nano is just think like that. If we want to write something on a editor mode, then we have a nano editor as well. Just for like writing, like we have a shell scripting as well that we can do it in this Kali Linux environment. That all the things we can do it by using an editor. What editor it is? This is a nano editor. Take an example. We have ls a. It is right now the list. Right, what exactly it is showing right now? It is showing the list of all the directories that are right now already available in this. And similar way, we have a multiple command. The second command we have is for user management. The first command is who. Take an example. I just want to know what exactly I am as. Who am I even? The who command, who am I? And these commands are actually essential for, take an example, just want to understand it. Just want to understand the login. Let us suppose having a facility of adding a multiple user as well, having a facility of adding, deleting a user as well. Want to understand which user is right now working it on, which user is right now login this, which mean who am I and who. These commands are actually used for user management. The third one is the file permission command. Hope you are able to understand this. Who am I, who, and next move to the file permission command. Yes, sorry for interruption. The next one is the file permission command, like for changing a mode. Like let us this like we have numerical value 677 777, like giving a, if you want to restrict a person for using for a file permission, that all the things can be managed by file permission command. CHO, like changing the ownership. Take an example, the ownership. If I want to show you, like in this local machine, even we have the ownership. Take an example, like the file. If I'm just going to take the randomly the properties, here we have a detail, like who has created this, who has used it, all the things like the owner, even like who is actually the owner. And here we in this window app, even same similar way, the Linux commands are same to same. In this like Linux, I'm just giving you just for a reference only. Like next one we have is networking command. Like if we want to display the IP detail of like IP, then we just need to like ping the network domain name. Like take an example, facebook.com. We just want to test the network connectivity, then just need to write it down. Ping is the command, and thereafter the domain name. Thereafter we have the nmap, netstack, traceroute, wcat. All these are the networking commands that we can use it. Let us suppose if I'm going to use this right now, the ping google.com. And which mean these commands are actually understanding these are all our networking command, which mean this is just for testing the network. That command many of you have already used a window command as well, like PowerShell, the command line. Like similar way we have a Linux command in the process management command. Like for take an example, the process in this window we have just, we can show this by using a task manager. These are the process right now in a running state. The same thing if we want to display it in a Linux, then we just have a command ps. And thereafter take an example, if I want to let's take an example, if I want to kill any if I want to, let us suppose if I want to end task, which mean kill command. See this, these all are like kill all, stop command. Just need to remember this, because these commands are essential for, like commands are nothing. This is just you can say, let we try to understand what exact the command is. Command contain a predefined function. Command contain a predefined program. This is just a naming convention. When we just type a name there, accordingly on the backend side, by default, whatever the predefined definition it will be giving you a response. Which mean when we say shell scripting, like if it is a custom based, which mean the user is going to give an input. Like most of the time when we say I just want to run the multiple custom command, which mean that will be come under the, either it will be come under the batching process or it will be come under the shell scripting word process. Thereafter we have the package management command as well. Like like hope you have already seen this command, like sudo apt update. Like take an example, if you want to update the package list, sudo apt up sudo apt upgrade. Upgrade and update, actually upgrade mean, take an example, I just have installed previous version, just want to change it to a newer version, then we have a command sudo apt upgrade. And by default it will provide you different, like let me take an example of Apache. Apache, it will be by default installed. This is a foundation that will be installed, but by default it will not be started. We just need to start it manually in our Kali Linux. For that, we just have an understanding of command. If you don't have an understanding of command, which mean few of the things that, take an example of Apache, like HTTP. When we just want to run a website, take an example. I just want to create a one website. Need to install. Take an example of PHP website. If we have, need to install exam server. Exam is nothing. It contain extensible Apache actually. But in Kali Linux, if we want to create a same packages are actually by default installed, but it will be not in a started stage. Need to start it manually. Thereafter, we have disk and storage command as well. These commands are actually like disk usage in a human format, like file allocation, like different kind of mount. Let us suppose if we want to mount a drive, unmount a drive, if we want to see the all partition that are already in our system, if we want to resize it, that all we have a different command that are available in this Kali Linux. Thereafter, these command like nmap, like performing the aggressive scan, like we have an angry IP as well. Take an example, if we want to see the list of all the IP from my network, we have an angry IP. But if we are using Kali Linux, which means having a 600 package, 600 tool, having an ability to like, take an example, I want to I want to see whether this my website having vulnerability or not. Then we can test it by applying a SQL map command. SQL, which mean SQL map hyphen u, the like your domain name, and thereafter will what exactly it will do. It will just test a website for a SQL injection vulnerability. And similarly, we have actually the logs are most important. Like when I just have run without running as administrator, it was showing grep error. Grep error, how actually it is going to show it to me, that is with the help of dmesg command. But when I just have run it as a administrator, it was not showing it any of any of the error, which mean by default it will create a one log, and that log is most important. Like, take an example, if we are going to use a Facebook, what exactly we are thinking, no one is just going to supervise us, but in reality they will keep a log. They will keep everything what exactly we have accessed with the help of log. For log analysis, these are the security command that are the part of. And will in conclusion, what exactly we have understood right now. In my first hour, just going to conclude what exactly we have done in this 2 hour session. In first hour, we have understood why the security mechanisms are necessary and what kind of the stages that are for, like the cyber kill chain that we have understood, like the all 7 stages. Thereafter, understood what is the difference between deep web and dark web, which one is legal and which one is not legal. And thereafter, we just have understood how we can install this Linux, Kali Linux, and VirtualBox, and the few of the commands that we have seen and able to understand this. If you have any query, just ask me. Hope this session will be more impactful for you all, and the one slogan that I'm just giving you for everyone, like stay vigilant, stay skilled, which mean the use case was just need to keep in your mind, like whatever the strategy that coming in industry should have to learn it as well. Why? Because understanding of risk is important. If you have any query, can ask any query to.
So, do we have any hands-on session in in your next preceding lectures?
Yes, definitely, sir. The complete cyber kill chain na, that actually I just have shown to you today. Like all the tool that are available in this Linux na will be understood and will be understood understanding it, so that we'll be having an understanding of all these tools, how we can do the analysis of like the password attack, like wireless, and all the things we'll be covering in next session.
On the behalf of Faculty Development Program on Digital Forensics for Innovators, leveraging open source in cyber investigations organizing committee, I thank the respected FDP speaker, Mr. Aman Kumar, for their valuable talk and hands-on the session. With the permission of FDP speaker, I am concluding the session. Thank you all. Thank you, sir.
Welcome, ma'am.
Thank you, sir. Thank you.